Everyone experiences pain in their life, whether physical, mental, or emotional. It's how we deal with that pain that matters. I'm going to share with you a story about two twin brothers, one called David and the other James. Growing up, David and James were like most kids their age. They liked football, wrestling, and video games. In school, both David and James excelled in school, and their favourite subjects were English, science, and sports. Their father used to work at a timber factory, and he used to make a decent salary. He would work hard to provide for his family. After work, however, he would sometimes go to his local pub to drink. He would oftentimes drink too much. The next day, when he went to work, he saw the factory was all boarded up and closed. On the door read a notice: "The timber factory has been closed permanently due to bankruptcy." David and James's father got really worried and stressed. He had just lost his job. How was he going to survive? Where would the money come from? He did the thing he knows best. He went to the closest liquor store and bought bottles of alcohol and started drinking. He couldn't deal with it, and this was the one way he knew how he could cope. He started drinking a lot. As weeks and months went by, their father still had no luck in finding a job. After all, he had no real education, and all he knew was factory work. He was starting to lose hope. His drinking started to increase. He was getting drunk every day. His behavior and attitude at home had changed drastically. He was now bitter, angry, and got frustrated over the littlest things. He would start to hit and swear at David and James over the smallest of things. As he still had no job and no real income coming in, he would steal money from his wife to fund his drinking addiction. He would get into arguments with her and start beating her if he never got what he wanted. Because of what was happening at their home, David's life suffered as well. Whereas before he excelled at school and enjoyed school, now he didn't really care and would skip school whenever he felt. He also started hanging out with the wrong crowd and often would get into trouble. James, on the other hand, used what was happening at home as a motivation to work even harder and focus on his schoolwork. After all, he wanted to get into university and do well for himself. Fast forward a few years, and David and James's mother divorced their father. David was coming in and out of prison for various offences. He would steal money and possessions from people. Like his father, he was addicted to alcohol as well as drugs. James, on the other hand, was an engineer and graduate and had his own successful business manufacturing car parts. James had his own little family as well. So, what can we learn from this story? While it wasn't in their father's control, nor was it his fault for the factory closing, how he dealt with it was in his control. Instead of turning to alcohol and giving up, he should have been looking for ways to increase his income and provide for his family. His behavior and actions indirectly affected David's life as well. As with David, he saw his father's behavior and it inadvertently rubbed off on him. His behavior started getting bad, he didn't care, and he turned to drugs and alcohol to deal with his pain. On the other hand, James, however, used the pain as motivation to push himself and do better. He didn't want to turn into his father. So the moral of the story is to use your pain as a source of motivation instead of something that hinders you. I hope you enjoyed that and you learned something from it. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.